When we think of American political parties today, we often see them through a modern lens. Democrats as progressives, Republicans as conservatives. But history tells a far more complicated story, especially when it comes to the Democratic Party. Let's take a look at the dark history of the Democratic Party, a legacy that includes racism, segregation, and opposition to civil rights. The Democratic Party was founded in the early 19th century by supporters of Andrew Jackson. And from the beginning, it was deeply tied to the institution of slavery. In fact, Democrats were the party of the South, of plantation owners and slaveholders. Jackson himself owned slaves and helped push Native Americans off their land through the Indian Removal Act. By the time of the Civil War, Democrats were largely united in defending slavery. The party split into Northern and Southern factions, but even many Northern Democrats opposed abolition. The Republican Party, formed in the 1850s, was the party of Abraham Lincoln and was explicitly anti-slavery. After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, it was Democrats who fought tooth and nail to maintain white supremacy in the South. They opposed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, which abolished slavery, gave citizenship to freed slaves, and protected their right to vote. And when federal troops withdrew from the South in 1877, Democrats regained control and ushered in the Jim Crow era. It was Democratic state governments that enforced racial segregation, disenfranchised black voters, and allowed racial violence to go unchecked. In fact, the Ku Klux Klan found political allies among many Southern Democrats. Even in the 20th century, prominent Democrats resisted civil rights. In the 1960s, powerful Southern Democrats, known as Dixiecrats, fought against civil rights legislation. Figures like Senator Strom Thurmond and others openly defended segregation. But here's where the story shifts. Starting in the mid-20th century, the Democratic Party began to change. With leaders like Presidents John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson, Democrats started to embrace civil rights. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Landmark legislation that began to reverse decades of injustice. This shift caused a political realignment. Many white Southern voters and politicians, angry over civil rights reforms, left the Democratic Party and joined the Republicans. Strom Thurmond, for example, became a Republican in 1964. Today, the Democratic Party positions itself as a champion of civil rights and social justice. But that transformation didn't erase its past. Understanding the dark chapters of any political party's history, Democratic or Republican, isn't about blame. It's about being honest with the past, recognizing how far we've come, and how far we still have to go. History is messy, but it's our job to learn from it.